Hello, my beautiful Leos. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of your love life. So it's going to be your general love reading for the week here. So pretty much whatever comes out for you guys. Okay. Okay, guys, so we have distant horizons. Okay. So this could definitely be a card of travel, and then we have courthouse. Okay, so it could be a card of travel where, maybe you're making travel plans to spend time with someone. It could indicate a long distance union. But what I'm picking up on here, guys, is like there could also be some sort of legal matters that are going on in this connection, and maybe there's some sort of distance between you and another individual because of that. If this is not about legal matters, guys, it could also just touch on some like a situation that doesn't feel fair. A situation that doesn't feel fair, so you're choosing to, distance yourself. And again, for those of you where it's not a long distance union, it could definitely be emotional distance, okay? Let's see. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands and the Lovers. I'm getting a strong energy of someone keeping the distance but watching you from afar. And this is something that you can't ignore because I think that you can feel this person tugging on your energy with this Lovers card. This is a very intense energy. All right, so even if it's someone who's not speaking to you, Leo, it is someone who feels very deeply towards you. And there's something about you intuitively picking up on this. They're viewing you in like a soulmate kind of energy, but they are like, yes, they feel very intensely towards you, but they can't really put their finger on why. The Lovers, it could touch on a connection where you can't really explain it, right? It does involve deep emotions, but there could be something very different about it, or there's something that you can't really explain when it comes to that connection. Okay. So I'm going to start off by seeing how you are being viewed this week. Okay. Someone is trying to make sense of their emotions. They're acknowledging them, but they're like, okay, well, why do I feel so deeply? Or, trying to, again, make sense of their emotions is pretty much what I'm getting here. And it's someone who's keeping their distance. So they may feel that they're not ready to communicate something to you, or they're feeling bombarded with so many different emotions and thoughts this week where they're wanting to feel more balanced emotionally. How they're viewing you, Five of Swords. This person could feel like you are upset with them, okay? Or they're viewing you as someone who's feeling a bit conflicted about the situation. So the Five of Swords could be like when you're going back and forth in your mind about a situation. There could be a lack of trust. There could be something that is causing you to feel uneasy. And they feel like you are thinking of them, but they feel like you're not sure about the situation. There's a level of uncertainty is what they're sensing or how they're viewing you. Okay. The Five of Swords could also touch on someone who is reminded of like a disagreement here. They may feel like you are upset because of some sort of communication and you're still impacted by that. So it's not necessarily like, Leo's holding a grudge, but it's more like, well, I know that Leo is upset with me or Leo is frustrated, because of our last conversation, right? That's just a generic example. Okay, so we have the King of Swords followed by the Three of Swords in the challenge position. You know what this person's feeling challenged by this week, Leo? There's a strong energy of this person feeling like they're seeing a side of you that they're not used to. Because what I see with the King of Swords and the Three of Swords is like they feel like you're giving them the cold shoulder. They feel like you're detached. They do feel very hurt about the situation. They're feeling torn, but they feel like they're unable to get through to you, or they're waiting for, something to settle in order to speak to you. So, for example, if you guys had a disagreement and it was very recent, they're like, okay, right now is not the time for me to speak to Leo because I can sense that they're upset with me. And when I say that they're seeing a side of you that they're not used to you, detaching or completely shutting them out of your world. And they don't know how to deal with this, or they don't know how to communicate with you when you are upset with them. They want to speak to you, but they don't know what to say. And they may feel like keeping a distance, even if it's just for the current moment, feels better than um, initiating a conversation. Feeling very, very torn when it comes to the situation. They're feeling very, very, very hurt. But it almost seems to me that they're allowing you to have your space. They feel like you have a right to be upset or frustrated. They're acknowledging that. How are you viewing them? The Four of Wands. This could be someone that you are in a higher level of commitment with. The Four of Wands could also be you kind of looking at the situation and really just realizing the hopes and dreams and the plans that you had, because I feel like you had high hopes for this connection here, or you wanted to work towards something more stable. And I think that's something that you're still thinking about. Okay. The Four of Wands could also indicate that you're viewing this person as someone that you have shared your journey with, right? Like there could have been a lot of things that you guys have gone through together, or certain milestones that you have attained for yourself or you have hit, but this person was there with you. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords in your feelings and the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a lot of swords in it. Like there's something that you're strongly thinking about and you feel disrespected or betrayed, with that Ten of Swords being the first card in your feelings. Three of Pentacles could touch on, I really want to speak to this person because I want to have a discussion, or I want this person to know my side of things. It's also more of a realistic approach. It's more so about wanting to speak to someone and lay the facts out on the table. It's not necessarily like an emotional outpour or a heart-to-heart conversation. So there are some sort of facts or that you want to speak, or your truth that you want to reveal to this person. Ten of Swords is usually like a painful ending, right? But like I said, it could touch on betrayal or disrespect. And I'm specifically getting that you're holding on to something that this person communicated. Whether it's something that doesn't make sense to you, whether it's something that you feel like could have been articulated differently, okay? Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. I also see like an opportunity, okay, where it is very exciting. It is the potential for something to, become very stable, but it's stressing you out, or you're overthinking this opportunity or offer here. This could even be an offer when it comes to like your career, right? Advancing at your job, right? Changing your position, that sort of thing. But Nine of Swords could be when like we're up in our head about an offer and we're overthinking it. We're like, am I ready for this offer? Am I making the right choice? But I think this is stemming from you holding on to some sort of hurt, or maybe going through something difficult, but also having something positive happen as you're going through, an ending. Because the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, that could be you really like healing from a pretty brutal ending, and then there's something being offered to you. But because you've endured a lot of pain, you're not seeing something clearly. So this could be a week where you maybe want to take your time with making decisions, or allow yourself to feel, right? Allow yourself to feel. And then when you get to the point where you feel like you're more balanced, then maybe you can respond or act on this opportunity. Because I'm strongly getting a very, very important opportunity coming in for you. This could be from a person. Again, this could even just be career. This is a general read, so take it how it resonates. But you might be overthinking an opportunity because you're still dealing with emotions of betrayal or disrespect. Does that make sense? Okay. Queen of Cups clarifying the King of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles clarifying the Three of Swords. It almost seems to me like you choosing to focus on yourself, or you choosing your independence, is somehow causing hurt within this person. There's something about them wanting you to sympathize with them, but they don't feel like that's realistic, because these two cards are coming up in the challenge position. And the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles is someone acknowledging, like, hey, I do feel deeply towards Leo. I just feel like Leo's at the point of no return. Or Leo is now pouring into themselves here. I don't know if they will view me in the same light. They also feel like this is a very large shift here. And what I mean by that is like Queen of Cups and the King of Swords, two very different energies. Like they're viewing you as someone who is very nurturing, very loving. But once the hurt was caused, it's like a 180 here. And I think that the main thing I'm getting in the challenge position is someone who wants to speak to you, but they don't know what to say, or they feel like they're going to make a situation worse than it is by speaking up. Okay. So in their feelings, we have the Star card. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, and we have the Knight of Wands. This is like an urgency to heal something with you. This is someone who feels like, I don't know what to say, but if I don't act on my emotions now, then this may be like an ending that I would just have to accept, or I would have to be okay with not having access to Leo. The Star card being the first card in their feelings, it does touch on, wanting to heal something with you, but it also lets me know that they're viewing you as someone who is very, very important, someone who's very, very special. Because that card is, it's a very rare energy, right? It's when you're viewing something as, okay, or someone in this case is like, this is not someone that I meet every day. This is someone who's very special to me. And so I think that's where this urgency stems from. Like, I want to fix things. We have the Queen of Wands, okay, and the Justice card. They want to do right by you. They want to make something up to you because they do not feel at ease in the current moment. Queen of Wands, your energy, and we have the Justice card. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. And so if this is not pertaining to legal matters and that sort of thing, I strongly feel it's just someone who wants to either apologize, or their way of making something up to you could obviously differ, but they don't feel at ease when they're thinking about you. They don't, like, the way that they have treated you or communicated with you is causing them to feel uneasy, and they want to apologize. They want to make something right here. They want to restore balance in this connection. Now, Leo, I'm also getting a very specific message here where this person may feel like they blamed you for something that was actually their fault, and they want to take accountability for it. That's very specific, but it's coming through. Like, for example, if you express something that you disagree with in this connection, they could have kind of turned the wheel on you or made you feel bad or crazy or whatever it is for it. But in the now, they're realizing, I shouldn't have done that because that was my fault, or I should have just taken accountability for it. And I think that, that's where this energy is coming from, of wanting to make something right. You know what you showed this person, Leo? Because what I'm seeing in their feelings is like, you showed this person that you could be very caring, very nurturing, and very selfless. But if someone takes advantage of that, they're going to see this completely different side of you, which is, Queen of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. It's almost like, you've detached and you're cold to the point where they are, like, it's causing them to question their own existence, right? So it's like it's like two very different energies. And they don't know how to deal with this side of you, but they know that they did something to cause it. And I do see them wanting to make something right with you. Strength card. Okay. So they know this is not going to be a walk in the park. They're viewing you as someone who's very guarded. And the Empress. Wow. What's the Strength card? The Eight of Swords and the Empress, Eight of Cups. They're viewing you as walking away, Leo. Do they feel an urgency to make something right with you? Yes. But in the potential outcome, I see you detaching from this situation. You feel like you've really been up in your mind about this person. You may have even felt very stuck or doubtful of yourself. And you're moving forward. Your Empress is about realizing your worth, right? But it's also when you come out of a position of trying to make something work, or you come out of a position of holding on to something very tightly and you release it. The Strength card lets me know that this is something that is, of course, going to take a lot of strength. It's not going to be easy to do, but I think that's what you're going to resort to. And there's some sort of a shift that you're going through that's going to be visible to this person. So whether it's like someone who's witnessing your glow up, or it's someone who's witnessing you walking into some sort of success or a new opportunity here, but they feel that you do not view them in the same light. This is someone who feels like you're going to walk away. You've already detached. and your emotions have changed. Six of Swords. Yeah. You're prioritizing your peace of mind above all. There's something about this situation that has taken away from your peace of mind. And so moving forward, I think, ultimately the decision is going to be to continue to detach whether you hear from this person or not. And I think it's very visible to this person because with the Strength card and the potential outcome, they feel like you now have a guard up and you're not going to let that guard down because of, the betrayal that you felt here. Okay. Let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Oh, okay. So we have released the soul burden. What you carry in silence still shapes your path. Speak it, feel it, and finally let it go. And I think I mentioned this in your feelings, just allowing yourself to feel, even if it's difficult emotions that are coming up. I don't feel like this is something that's easy to handle emotionally or mentally at all. So I'm not taking away from what you're going through in any way. But if you find that you're someone who like suppresses your emotions, or maybe you feel like I don't really have anyone around me to speak, to speak to about my emotions, maybe just journal or find some sort of a release, because the more you hold on to it, it's going to weigh you down. And it says, what you carry in silence still shapes your path. So even with the Strength card, you're remaining strong. You're keeping it to yourself. You're like, I'm going to get through this, right? But even if you're able to get through it, but you're still holding on to some sort of negative emotions, or you're holding on to hurt, it is going to hinder you moving forward. So speak it, feel it, and finally let it go. So for some of you, even if this person is reconnecting with you and you do not want to, reconnect with this person, you could just use that as an opportunity to speak your truth. And there could be something very healing about that closure as well. Okay? So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.